All right. We are here in your 2023 championship interviews. I have with me here Phil Clark, 11th year in the league, joining us for his first championship appearance and first championship interview as well. We'll throw out some stats here before we get cranked up. He's won $100 this year, so congrats on that. This is his 11th year. I said that. He's 17-13. We're not counting top seven. I didn't go back and look at that, but 17-13 record wise on the year. You've scored 2,036 points, 0.7 points, and you're averaging 127.3 points a game. You just got your fourth playoff win, Phil, last week, defeating Ted in a crazy matchup. I know just kind of going back and forth. We'll get into that. We did some digging and went back and looked since you joined the league in games that matter. I guess matter to me. You are 5-6 against Comiskey. and how I determine that is regular season and winners bracket playoff games. So you're 5-6 against me lifetime in the Musty Taint, and this is actually our first matchup in the playoffs. So
I was gonna say, have we played in the playoffs before? I couldn't remember.
We have not. I looked back.
I didn't think so.
I dug back. You've been in the playoffs so much, like every year, just about. I think this is your 8th time getting in. And 8 straight, maybe. Like you make the playoffs every year, it feels like. It's just wild. I don't necessarily do that, but it's wild that we've never matched up in the playoffs, and maybe that has something to do with us being in the same division for so many years. Back when we did the Musty and the Taint and all that stuff. So, but yeah, first championship appearance, and it's just wild to think you make it 8 times. To the playoffs, and this being your first appearance. It's got to feel good. First off, I want to say Merry Christmas, belated. I hope you had a great holiday. And then welcome, man. Welcome to the championship of the Musty Taint Fantasy Football League. There's a guy in this chat right now who's like, man, what in the world's going on? This is crazy. But no, you're here. It's got to feel good. Tell us, how does it feel to be here?
Yeah. Thank you. It feels, and Merry Christmas to you. Happy New Year to you as well, coming up.
Yeah.
It feels good. That was the most intense day of watching football I've ever had, because me and Ted were just swinging back and forth, and he had the Eagles late night. That was brutal, but very, very glad to be here. It's always fun to make the playoffs, but it was getting kind of old losing in the first or second round, getting kind of old. So,
yeah,
just happy to be here, happy to be against you as well, where it's like one of us is going to get a ring. It's not like somebody's getting their second or third or fourth, like this best possible matchup.
I'm with you there. Yeah, absolutely. This feels right. It feels good. We got a new champion for the 3rd straight year. We'll have a new champion to add to the trophy. That's super exciting. So yeah, walk us through last week a little bit. As far as your, with the Eagles, I know he's got the stack. He had the stack all year with AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. You throwing Goddard in and actually getting some production out of him it had to been key. But as far as last week goes, just facing Ted, how did that go? And just kind of walk us through that.
Yeah, Thursday was scary because you hate playing on Thursdays, and my stack was Thursday. But Puka, Cooper, Stafford,
Big
balled out decent enough. Yeah. I mean, I told you beforehand that 50 points was like my barometer. Like if we don't get 50, I don't know if I can win, but I think they scored like 65 or something. And Stafford even missed Puka on like the easiest touchdown ever late in the game too.
Yes.
So I was worried that might have cost me. And then I hit my low point. The pendulum swung like, of course it would, but I hit my low point when Dustin Hopkins got hurt, because what kind of a kicker gets fucking hurt?
That's not the kind of guy you want on your team right there.
Unbelievable. And they were in 4th and field goal range like 6 times after that. And Flacco just kept
Just a
going
roll.
and getting it. It was insane.
Browns had like 36 points, which you just know, but by not even watching the game, that's so many field goals.
Yeah, minimum it was extra 10 points. Yeah, minimum. So that was brutal. And then the Dolphins game was huge. And then, Mostert goes down. I was like, that's it. That's it for me. Next play, Waddle goes down. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm back. And now I don't feel as bad about Hopkins because like Waddle was gonna have a big game. Like he caught a 50-yard bomb first drive. So then Mostert coming back for that touchdown, like that was such a big. It ended up not mattering too much, but it mattered at the time. Like that touchdown was so big for our matchup. Then the Eagles game would have got interesting if AJ Brown had caught a touchdown there at the end. But that was the only path that he had. And it was like almost a done deal by the fourth quarter there.
Right. And just having that one guy left. Yeah. The stack hitting that for 12, 15 points, on one.
Yeah, it's scary. One play could do it. Yeah.
I got to deal with it this week. So
yeah. But that was great though, because I was watching it with Annika. She's a big Giants fan. So I'm actually pulling for him. And that versus this week where I'm going up against the Giants, it's like, oh shit.
You had your time last week. Yeah, exactly.
Now I don't know if we could watch it together. I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah.
All right. So I got some weird questions mixed in here as we go through here. I don't want to take too much of your time, but I do have some random ones. So what's your worst fashion trend that you ever, or like, did you have a phase that you went through? And do you feel like that motivated you to become a better fantasy football player, or did it sidetrack you for a little bit? Fashion's a big deal these days.
So I think it aligns perfectly that I grew up like in high school playing fantasy football with my friends in Norfolk.
Yeah.
And then I went to college and got out of that league, and I didn't play any fantasy football for like 5 years. And in that 5 years, it coincided with probably the worst fashion trends ever. Looking back, and like it's funny, but like the whole our college era of polos with t-shirts under with a fitted cap backwards. So I think because I didn't have fantasy football in my life, I had a tailspin. And so getting back into the league, everything's evened out. Yeah, it all kind of makes sense.
Okay.
Ears to ears.
Oh, Trip, I just saw tragic news, but I just saw before I hopped on here that the Karma, the bar from the Jersey Shore, they just leveled it down. It's no more.
R.I.P.
Club Karma. Yeah.
I can't
Those were
believe.
the days.
Yeah. Shirt before the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Will that have any implications on this weekend's matchup?
It could.
I think it will because
it
depends.
Karma's a bitch.
It depends if Tyrod starts or Tommy DeVito.
Oh yeah.
That'll
Okay.
matter. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I think that plays into it.
Right. That's right. The real Jersey Shore. Oh my gosh. All right. So first time in the chip. What's your mindset? What's going on in your brain right now? Walk us through that. I know last year I was in a little bit of a tailspin. I had some lineup issues and things like that. How do you feel on a Wednesday night going into obviously our first game tomorrow night? How do you feel? What's your mindset going in this weekend?
I feel good. I like how it's not staggered over 5 days. We
Thank
pretty
God.
much have everybody going on Sunday. Browns do scare me tomorrow because they're playing the Jets. That could be a pivotal piece. It's kind of like Breece Hall was last week against Washington. But I feel solid. I don't have too many roster contradictions. I feel like I'm pretty set. It's interesting because I traded you Browns D. You gave me Dalton Schultz. And Dalton Schultz is as good or better than Goddard. So might play him, might not. I'm not quite sure. I think CJ Stroud might play. But that's just an interesting twist is that you gave me him. And now that could be the difference maker. I don't know.
Yeah.
The kicker wire was fun this morning. I know I put in 7 waivers. You put in for somebody. Ted got somebody. So But you see what I did? I got the guy who plays Sunday night on purpose just to make
Yes,
it.
I
Yeah.
did. Yeah, I know. I did see that. And I actually was thinking about grabbing them too,
That-
just to have
I
an
got,
extra bullet late because I know what's coming on Monday. I mean, on Sunday night. Yeah.
yeah. So it'll
What's
be,
already coming Sunday night.
dude, that game's going to be, knock on wood, like it should be. The matchup could be over by then, or it'll come down to Sunday night. And then you got uh TJ Hawkinson out, at Jordan Addison banged up.
Yeah.
Jair Alexander's not playing. He got suspended.
Yeah. I saw all the
It's a
clips.
pivotal game. So I don't
God,
know. But I think if I'm within 50 points, I got a shot.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Jefferson and you got a kicker going on Sunday night. The Jefferson is just like this gonna be a great championship. Jason has been just dropping just hella points these past 5 weeks straight.
Yeah, it's gonna take at least 150, 160
Yeah,
minimum.
God, that Lamar Jackson, McCaffrey, Kyron Williams, and then T and Metcalf could always have potential of going off. Rashad White's been consistent all year. And then you got Puka, Cup, Jefferson, Stafford. I mean, there could be some fireworks. I'm sitting here looking at it. That's going to be crazy.
I don't really see a weak spot, honestly.
Oh Jesus! I got questions that they're probably built up in my head, but we'll get to that in a little bit. What are the signs, Phil? What are the signs going into this weekend?
Yeah, the signs, I'm seeing a lot of 17. I think that's why I picked up Anders Carlson too. He was number 17. Puka Nacua, number 17. Shohei Ohtani put on that jersey. He was 17. So that's a sign I've been seeing. I was with Trip. I put money on 17 black. It hit. So I think the signs
that's true.
It's always been 17. So I'm seeing that. I picked up Carlson. And maybe I win or lose by 17.
Week 17.
Week 17.
Yeah, it's week 17.
Oh my gosh, the signs. The signs.
Is this what year is this? Are we year 17?
No, this is year 18. That would be weird.
That's good.
Smitty, you got that lasagna dip?
Smitty,
you already ate it.
Yeah, we already ate.
Yeah, was it good?
It was good.
Amazing.
All right, so there's some money involved with this game. So 600 to the winner, 300 to second. So there's some coin coming your way regardless. Have you thought about how you're going to spend some of that money?
I have not. How much is it for 600, 300?
600, 300, plus some of the other payouts we got at the end with total points and all that stuff. Obviously, week 17 is $100 for highest scoring team too. So that's
it best ball? It's best ball last week, right?
No.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
Just week 1.
What's the total point payout?
150, I think. I have to go back and look, but yeah, I think it's 150. I got it on a spreadsheet somewhere. But yeah, how are you spending that cash? One way.
I guess I have to cook up some kind of parlay.
Yes.
Right? House money.
Same game. Yes.
One bet from everybody in the league or something. That won't hit. Gotta do something else.
We get Trips lock of the day. We get Prop Kings prop of the day.
Those were good.
Throw them all in there.
Yeah, I don't know, but I definitely don't want to do what Derek and Drumo did that one year, and I think Drumo suggested winner take all, and then he lost. So Derek got all the money. I'm happy splitting it with you, dog.
That's tough. That's tough.
Drumo was locked in for like his biggest profit ever. He ended up, I think, having like a $5 net loss because of that on the season. Best season ever he had, I think.
Was a tough one. That was
in Drumo's defense, Derek did have like Rex Burkhead and some other scrubs playing. So like
play, yeah.
All right, so going into this weekend, I don't know if it'll be tomorrow night as far as like when you would do this, but I'm sure. I mean, everybody's kind of got their hype song, like what they listen to in the gym, what they listen to, whatever it is. Like, and it changes all the time. Right now, what is your hype song? And will you play
All
it
right,
tomorrow
dude.
night, or will you play it on?
Can I play it right now?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I hope it'll work because I got my headphones in. Hold up, I got Spotify. I don't know my password.
While you're looking for it, will you play it tomorrow night or wait till Sunday for the New Year's Eve vibes?
I gotta play it Sunday at 11 a.m. or 1 p.m.
Eastern.
Yeah, I gotta play, and you'll hear why.
Okay.
Can you hear that?
I'm not hearing it. No.
All right, hold on. Can you hear the ad?
Yeah, I can hear the ad a little bit.
All right, here's my hype song. Because this is what the Nuggets came out to on this day.
Oh, okay.
It makes sense for our matchup too. Another ad.
The signs.
You don't mind? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. Yo.
Look.
We my answer like Jehovah's Witnesses. We are the dogs and fuck all the witnesses. They sitting down, we standing on business.
Standing on business.
Standing on.
Yeah.
I'll play the whole thing.
We got a couple minutes.
I don't know what to take. Don't know what I took. My doggy got booked for acting like book. Shot him in. Shot him in daylight. Shot him in daylight. Shot him in daylight.
They came out to that last night or Christmas night, Christmas Day.
Yeah, it was fucking badass.
Standing on business. I love it. I love it. Over under. Will we send some shots like Drake's lyrics back and forth this weekend? Like I feel like
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
but
like,
that's and I was at the gym earlier and I played that and I was like, it made sense because I know I got Justin Jefferson at night, but like if I don't come out during the day, like I'm done.
oh,
So, like,
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
shoot him in daylight.
Oh, reverse
Shoot 'em in
jinx.
daylight. I like it.
Reverse
Oh man.
Yeah, it's DK's song. He did the stand on business thing,
Yeah.
sign language. Yeah, it's
Oh.
DK's song.
That's sick. That's sick. All right.
Feels-
Well, not only is there money involved with this game, there's also a trophy. Maybe you've seen it. It's very pretty. If you get the trophy in your possession, one, what would it say? And then also two, where would you place that trophy?
Can I ask a leading question prior?
Go right ahead.
Third, how the fuck would you get it back to Colorado?
Well, luckily, I had this hellish experience bringing back my golf clubs from Charlotte last time. So, basically, I went to the airport because I dropped Derek off at the airport at like noon, and my flight was at 9 p.m. And I had my big ass golf club bag, and the Frontier was like, you can't check this in until 3 hours prior to the flight. So I had to sit in the Charlotte airport for like 6 hours
Oh
with
my
my laptop
God.
out.
I'll ship
Yeah.
it to you. I'll ship it to you before we do all that.
Hey, as long as I have that golf bag, though, I have a perfect case for it, essentially.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Where are we doing it? Do we know yet?
I mean, if you win,
Back to the beach?
would that be something that you would like try to host? I
Oh
don't
my-
know, man.
I would love to if y'all are down, if enough people can make it.
Yeah.
Denver
But yeah,
so
so that golf bag I got has plenty of room. I don't even need the clubs in there. I'm not very good at golf. It could just be for the trophy, and I'll leave my clubs with y'all. Like it's for the trophy if that happens.
Yes, sir. Trophy
Yeah.
case.
Yeah, but you asked where am I going to put it? I don't know because I don't have a trophy case. I've never experienced. I have no idea. It's uncharted territory, so I have never even thought about it.
Absolutely. Well, what would go on it? What would you put on it? Would it be Phil's Mafia, or would you think of something different?
Yeah, Phil's Mafia. Yeah,
Okay, for sure. So hands down, done deal. That's exactly what's going on there. Okay.
yeah.
All right. What talk to me about predictions for this weekend as far as what you think's going to happen. I know, projections and all that stuff. We've looked at it. Also, I did want to say this one stat before we get into that question. So this year, 11 times out of 16 weeks, you've been over your projection on ESPN. And so that's pretty a good clip. So whatever ESPN's got you at, you got a good percentage that you're going to go over that, in my opinion. So, but as far as predictions go, it's for this weekend, even starting tomorrow night, if you want to walk us through what you think is going to happen and kind of what you see when you think about the championship.
Yeah. Tomorrow night, scary. I think Browns will get over their number. They could get really over that. I don't know. Jets, that's scary. When I made that trade with you, part of it was like in the back of my head thinking maybe Aaron Rodgers will be back that week, but
Oh yeah.
nope. So the way I think it's going to go, I mean, for the third week in a row, it's very heavily reliant on the Rams. Every drive's going to be nuts. It's going to be
Yeah.
every time the Rams have the rock, like is it going to be Kyron, Puka? I saw a stat today that said Rams have 4 of the top wide receiver run block grades in the league, and with Puka and Cooper being like their 2 best run blockers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and that's some shit. Like it's gonna be Stafford handed it to Kyron, Puka, and Cooper just
They're
lead him
helping
into the end zone.
helping Kyron.
No,
out.
it's gonna be a game though. Rams have the same team total as they did last week, 24.5. So they're gonna score, according to Vegas, a little over three times, right? So I think if I'm anticipating us being pretty close after that slate of the early games. And then you will take a massive lead after the late games because I only have like Chiefs D and you got T. Higgins and DK and Jason Myers. So I'm hoping it's just within 50 by Sunday night. So that way it'll be just fireworks. And
Fireworks every play.
yeah, if
every time
JJ
somebody
goes
plays
off,
ball.
he goes off. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And it'll be that.
Yeah. We're just coming down to Jetta.
I just want a good match. Yeah, I just want something fun for New Year's Eve.
It's awesome for you as far as like looking at kind of how you started the season, with the injuries and all that stuff and the question marks around Cup, being able to kind of see it all kind of come back and say like, all right, this is what I wanted going into the season. Obviously quarterback, that was, Burrow going down, but just to kind of see it all, everybody get healthy at the right time and you kind of catch your stride, so to speak, late in the season. It's been cool for you to hang on that long. No, I'm sure you got trade offers at some point, and just kind of hang on to those guys. It's pretty special for them all to kind of come along right here at the end.
Yeah, I think last week was the first time I had like all my starters active the same week.
Oh yeah. It's
First
like
time all year.
Peaking at the right time. Like that is the last 2 weeks for sure. Rams are peaking at the right time. The way I've watched them the last couple of weeks, it's been cool to watch. So yeah, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be a wild Sunday. I can't wait. First of all, it's gonna be awesome. Hopefully, I get off to a good start tomorrow. All right, last question before we get into the last question. The last question before the last question. If your life was a reality TV show, what would it be called?
My life was a reality TV show. How about Well, I'm thinking of the Musty Betts name, Don't Fade Phil. Isn't that a TV show? Don't Feed Phil.
Yeah.
So it would be a reality TV show called Don't Fade Phil, but I would lose every bet, and that's what would make people coming back for more.
Will he win this week?
Yeah, and it shows like the one-on-ones with cast members, and they're like, I faded them, and they're like buying Lambos and shit. Yeah,
Oh, we faded him hard, man. As soon as he said it, we were like, fade, fade.
yeah. That's the whole premise of the show. It's just everybody else getting rich. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right. Last question, man. And let's see if these guys want to ask anything. What would a championship in this league, and maybe you've won another league before, but in this league in particular, what would a championship mean to you in the Musty Tank? 11th year in.
Yeah,
Crazy how fast that's gone.
I know, right? I remember back when Johnny was in our league. Feels like an eternity ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it would mean everything, and it would be a big sigh of relief. There's always this. Actually, being in the championship is another weight off the shoulder too. It's like just being here,
A little bit of a monkey.
having a shot at it. I mean, Jesus, yeah. But it's special, right? Like, I would be, if I'm not mistaken, I'd be the first person outside of North Carolina to win the league, correct? I'm trying to think. Drumo was born in Virginia, but he's never won the ship, right?
Right.
I guess AJ.
AJ, he was in New York. He was born.
New York.
AJ's New York, yeah. But first one outside of the bubble
Absolutely. Yeah.
of yeah, just kind of brought in the league like later on. And yeah, I mean, I won ships when I was in high school with like smaller leagues that I know it means nothing. Like when I hear about WAC leagues and stuff, I know how little it means. Like I literally don't care if somebody's like, here's my WAC league title. Like this league is everything. I'm in one league. I'll root for your bets. I'll root for that, but this league matters more than anything. So I want to win it. I want to join the ranks of Smitties and the Derricks and elites.
That's it. Doesn't
Yeah. The what?
does it matter?
Uh, what year was that?
God, that was a
Yeah.
long time ago. Does it matter? That was funny. Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. And I'm happy for you getting there. I know last year with me, my first time being in the championship, there's a lot that goes into it. Mentally, it's a little bit of a strain, man. I ain't gonna lie. I thought I was ready for it, but it's a lot. And but it's exciting, man. It's exciting. I know Sunday, me and you are gonna have the most fun out of anybody in the league. So I'm pumped for you. And like I said, it's 8 years working in this direction and finally getting there. It's big time. So I do
Yeah.
want to say good luck to you, and then I'll open it up to see if these guys got anything for you.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you as well. I mentioned earlier, but I would not want to play anybody else in this finals.
Yeah, this is big time. This is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm pretty.
I've got one question for Phil to start. Which player for Jason's team are you most afraid of coming this week?
CMC. Obviously, that's like an easy answer, but he's playing Washington. He's playing Washington, and the Niners just got kind of embarrassed, so they're going to be hungry. I would never. I'm gonna knock on wood. I would never wish this upon anybody. But where are they playing that game?
Don't stop. Don't
All
even.
right, I'll stop. I'm not even gonna say it. Not even gonna say it. But if somebody were to say it, they probably would mention that turf over at FedEx Field. My God, I'm just saying I wouldn't want that to happen. That would be a terrible way to. So I'm not rooting for the turf, but I'm just saying that's how much he scares me. Where I'm looking at the turfs that they're playing on, the playing surfaces, and like, how could that impact the game? Because because otherwise he's going for 50.
Turf matters.
Oh my God. I can't believe you said that. All
Jason.
right.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Trip. Go ahead.
Well, are we just strictly asking Phil right now, or are we?
Yeah, just Phil, whatever you got for him.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
So, Phil, first and foremost, you're welcome. That first day sitting in what would become the Pinocha Palace, watching the Aaron Andrews peephole sex tape video, introducing ourselves to each other, and you now being an esteemed member of this league and one of the boys. You're welcome.
What a crazy butterfly effect.
I mean, you guys calling Copper Beach every single day for how long to try to get in there, and then ultimately ended up being neighbors. Like, that's just wild. So, proud of you for being here. Glad you took the boys in and the boys took you in. Congratulations on being in the ship, man. It's a huge accomplishment. How does it feel knowing that maybe one other person is cheering for you, and the rest are probably rooting for Jason?
Who's the one? Because it's not me.
I'm gonna give it to Druma.
No, I thought about this heavily, and then I thought
I thought
about
about making that one of my questions. Also, it was like, hey, are you pulling for me this weekend?
so I thought about this a lot because I'm like during the semifinals, I'm like, I kind of want to play Derek just so I don't have to go up against Kamish and everybody. I know who everybody's rooting for, right? But then I thought about it like Zach doing it last year, and then I thought about the process, right? The process, like I don't think the process dies after this year, win or lose for you. It's the process. It's about the consistency, knocking on the door each year. I think that if I were to win, it would only make Jason's victory sweeter when it happens. So that's my only spin zone, is that Jason goes to 3 finals in a row, right? Next year. No, it sucks. It's not good, but at the same time, I'll feel better at the results versus like if I'd have lost to, Ted in the finals, that would have burned a lot more, or Trip or you or Zach or anybody that like has had success like in the playoffs.
I don't know if that was a dig or not.
It's well documented how poorly I do in this league in the playoffs, so it's not a dig.
I personally don't think it's a dig because he makes it to the finals and some people don't make the playoffs.
It's a big deal,
So-
man. It's a hard thing to do. So, props, man. You always remember your first.
Yeah.
Last question. In the group chat the other day, you mentioned that you heard your roommates performing coitus. I was curious who that coitus was. You were hearing?
Pat?
Who? Oh, it was Pat. It was in the dorm.
Said Pat's about to do
Yeah,
it.
Pat Summers was my roommate.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Copper Beach. I was trying to figure out if it was Kevin or Sam.
Oh, because wasn't the caption like "Come on, Pat" or something?
No, mine said
Maybe I might have
Pat's
missed
about
that.
to do it.
Pat's about to do it, so I was like, me, my freshman year, or me
think
back in the
that's
dorm. Yeah,
Okay, gotcha. All right. Pat. Wow, forgot that guy existed.
yeah, same. I was talking to Annika about him, and like trying to describe who Pat Summers was kind of difficult.
Yeah, I feel like Drew Williams and Pat Summers are really hard people to describe.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Drew.
All right, that's all I got. Congrats, man.
Cool, thanks. All right, I'm gonna get a beer. Then your turn.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right.
Hey, how many people were on last week?
I think we ended up with like 6 or 7 at one point.
People got in later.
Yeah. People kind of popped in and out.
Yeah. That was my bad last week. I couldn't. Hazel sometimes some nights just impossible to get to sleep.
No, it's all good, man. I know everybody's got stuff going on, so I mean, just picking the time to do it. It is something I do enjoy doing at the end of the season, just to kind of get everybody together. But again, it's tough to get everybody on at the same time. And
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah.
Hey, one last question for Phil. Something I meant to ask a follow up question, but as far as your team, who are you relying on the most on your squad this week, just to help you to victory?
I mean, there's the obvious ones, but I feel like my
The
X Factor guy who I'm kind of counting on is the guy I spent $25 on to Smitty, that I think I bought him to win a ship, quote unquote, or get here.
Yeah.
But then he fucking broke his thumb or whatever. Last week he didn't catch any balls. I think they may have been protecting him from catching balls with his thumb. So as long as he can catch a ball this week, that's the X factor. Yeah, because obviously the Rams, I need them, but Jonathan Taylor could be a key. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, last question. Last question. Is Puka? Are you keeping Puka?
I've signed him to a 10-year deal.
Backloaded. He's only getting paid $1 next year.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Did you know about him, or did you just say oh shit, I saw him on a game and I wanted this guy? Where?
I mean, I knew about him, but it made sense because with Cooper on the IR,
Yeah.
I needed to plug and play, and then he had 15 targets week 1, so I'm like, all right, I need to get him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now he's my favorite player.
Yeah, he's insane, man.
Yeah.
Rookie
I'm
of
gonna
the
keep
year.
him. I don't know who else I'm gonna keep, but Puka for sure. Lock him in for the next 2 years, I guess.
That's wild.
Is it 2 more from now or?
Well, no.
So-
What's
so
he?
he wasn't drafted in the rookie draft, so you get him for 3.
True, he's a
Next 3.
undrafted free agent. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be big. That'd be
Yeah.
nice. Especially
Yeah, I
with
mean the Rams
phasing out.
two years in a row, 5th round picks. Kyron, Puka. And what'd you get Kyron for? $10?
4, 5.
4?
Yeah, it was cheap.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, y'all gonna
Yeah.
be stacked next year for cheap.
Hoping so. Hoping so.
Yeah. I didn't have any money this year. All right. So Kamish, congrats again. I don't know how many people have been to back-to-back titles, but it's definitely not a lot at all. I know maybe Ted, Derek, Smitty, are you in that category? 2 appearances in a row.
I don't think I went 2 in a row. I think I
Yeah.
went every year. I don't think I went 2 in 3 years.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's impressive. You put yourself in the spot back-to-back years. I know Zach's not on here, but you're recording this, so technically Zach has the crown for 4 more days.
Yeah.
So any final words to our current champ, Zach Woodley?
The only thing I'll say is I remember last year, it was rough. I actually watched the championship with him. That Sunday, I went to his house and stayed and we cooked on the grill. I think we played golf that morning, kind of made a day out of it. And ultimately, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna get this guy, and I'm gonna win, and he's gonna be sad. And then I ended up being the opposite because I did not start a very good lineup. I choked, and so it was bad, and all time bad last year. But we were sitting there, and I think all I had left was Pittsburgh's D, and they had to score 40 before I even went into the Chase versus Higgins deal, the DeMar Hamlin game, all that stuff. But we're sitting there, and I've had a lot to drink last year at that Sunday night game, and I looked at him. I said, "Man, hey, dude, let's run this back. No matter what happens, let's do it. Let's find a way to both of us try to make it back." And Zach, I made it back, my boy. But I know the hangover's tough. It's got to be as far as winning the title and getting there and getting it done. So everybody deserves a year off after winning it. And so he's had that parade. He's enjoyed. He's drank the Kool-Aid. He's drank the wine and the bourbon, and he's had a good time. But I don't think I'm here if I'd have won it last year. I don't think I'm in this spot. So yeah, Zach, congrats again, buddy. Enjoy that trophy and enjoy being champ for 4 more days, man.
4 more days. So, yeah, I mean, it's easy to say in hindsight that you didn't play the best lineup, right, with Mike Evans, but but everybody, like I mentioned last week, nobody sets an optimal lineup ever, week to week. Nobody does it.
Oh, yeah.
It's very, very tough to do. We did the same thing last week. Again, nobody set their optimal lineup. So how much does that go on in your head of, oh, you got a deep bench. You got Nico Collins, you picked up Gerald Everett, you picked up a tight end last week. You may be nervous about Dalton Kincaid. You picked up a new kicker. How much are you overthinking, underthinking? How much does that play into your head of solving the right Rubik's Cube of players?
Man, I'm definitely overthinking this, but I do have some options. I feel like I've put myself in a position to have options. And so, like, you're thinking throughout the season, you're like saying, all right, how do I give myself options at the end of the season? So that way, you know, if this guy gets hurt, this guy, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I've been one of the luckiest teams this year, especially with injuries. Like, I haven't had to deal with it for very long. If I did have to deal with it, and then now everybody being kind of healthy, it's putting me in a little bit of a predicament every week. Last week, I mean, I was freaking out before James Cook played Saturday night. I was like, I don't know who to play at. Rashad's been my guy all year, but I had Cook who just blew up. You know, it's just you play that matchup game, and it's like, okay, well, what if they get ahead big? And that was another thing. Like, all right, do they take them out? Like, it's just you play those games in your head and try to predict the future. You can't, but you try to. And I think, yeah, it definitely gets you in a little bit of a bind. And a Rubik's Cube is a great way of describing it, because my mind is a little bit of a pretzel, especially going into the weekend. I think a lot does have to do with I hate Thursday night games, but I do think having that and like kind of seeing where I'm at will help. Like, do I need to go play upside guys? You know, do I need to play a safer guy? Things like that. I think that definitely goes into it. But yeah, it's been a lot of trying to get it right every week, and it's tough. Yeah, optimal lineup is, if I can do that this week, then, you know, that's one thing, but me not doing it all year probably it has been tough.
Yeah, it's almost a good problem to have, though, that you have, you know, that much depth and different options. It feels good sometimes to like not have depth, and it's a no-brainer, but ultimately, you know, your team's better with the more talent you have. So, okay. What was your favorite victory this year? Who was the favorite dub you got in our league?
Ooh, Tony. Yeah, week one of the playoffs, definitely catching him. I know he had made some moves. He spent all that money on Bijan at the rookie draft, and only for him to get like 2 points, you know, against me. That was huge. And then trading for CD, you know, that whole dynamic, I guess, of him getting those guys. Not CD, Keenan Allen, and Justin Herbert, and them guys going down right before I played them. You know, I commend Tony. He battled after having a couple tough years, but for him to kind of like, this was his year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you build up. This was kind of his moment, and to beat him in the first round, because I was worried he had snuck me a couple weeks before that by 2 points. It was an absolute shootout, like 161 to 159, and I was like, God, here we go again. And but just to get through that first round was huge. So I think that was probably my favorite win this year. Yeah, I lost a lot of key ones, man, because I talked smack about AJ on that video on draft weekend. He got my ass. I can't remember what week it was, but I'm sure that was sweet for him. You got me this year, you know, so I lost some key ones, but I was able to score that top 7, which I'm really glad we're doing. A lot of those weeks that I lost, I was still able to score enough points. I had a ton of points scored against me this year. So, but yeah, I think round one of the playoffs would be the one I would point at as the most significant. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. All right. What is your boldest prediction for Sunday?
Ooh, boldest prediction for Sunday. I think depending on what I do at wide receiver, I got some questions there on what I do. But I think the CJ Stroud, Nico Collins dynamic has been something that I kind of bought into preseason, and for it to kind of come to fruition. Tank Dell obviously put a damper on it a little bit. Like Nico still had a great year, but I was like going into the season, Nico's about to be a dude. I feel good about that, and I drafted him. But having Tank Dell kind of like, oh, he's the big play guy now. Stroud goes to the GM like, hey, please draft this guy, blah, blah, blah. You know, I feel really good about Nico, and I feel good about Nico this Sunday. So maybe a little foreshadowing, but yeah, I think Nico is a dude, and he's going to get some targets. That's my bold prediction, is that Nico makes my starting lineup, and Nico has a 15, 20 point performance that I haven't gotten out of the wide receivers this year consistently, but I do feel like Nico's a guy I'm going to end up playing, and I'm going to end up.
So that plays into the signs question you asked me. Nico's the number 17 wide receiver. I think he's projected 17 points.
17 points. Yep. 17th
That's
ranked
pretty
guy.
good.
Yeah. So yeah, it's all about the 17 in week 17.
Yeah. So I like the questions you asked me. If you were to pick a song for yourself, either tomorrow or Sunday, your Comiskey hype song, Trust the Process song, what are you playing?
So Lil Baby, I've been getting into the modern rap game. I know Smitty didn't like it. I played a couple songs for him one time. He was like, "What the heck is this?" So, I absolutely love watching when I think it was last year, maybe the year before, with the 49ers, Debo was walking out with the boombox, and blasting Super Gremlin. And I was sold. I was like, oh my God, I love this song. This is awesome. And so that's been kind of one of my go-tos over the last couple of years, has been freaking Super Gremlin. So hopefully this Sunday I'm gonna have a team of Super Gremlins ready to roll.
Could you play that so I know what it is?
Do what?
Did you play
Yeah,
it?
play the intro of it.
Yeah, I got you. It's let me know if y'all can hear it. I don't even know if I can post it on YouTube. We could be superstars.
All right, that's cool.
Is Trip gonna hold the boombox for you?
I can do it. Being the back of the
No, he actually has his line in here. It says, hang on, let me see it. I've been multitasking, rapping, and being a daddy to my little children. I've been standing on business. Yeah, and spinning until I'm dizzy. And then at the one, what is it? The we could have been superstars. Remember, we was jacking cars. Anyway, yeah.
I love it. That's a good hype song.
That's a one that I've been going to, and I'll probably have a listen this weekend for sure. Maybe tomorrow night, as I have Browns D.
Well, let's hear your reality show, because I know you thought about it if you asked the question. So what's your reality show of Jason Gay called?
So I did think about it. I had a long drive home from Rocky Mountain today. Mine would be called Life with Brady. And so I have obviously my infatuation with the football player Tom. I don't think y'all know this either. We've had 5 football players come through at Hanover, all brothers, last name Brady. And so we've had that. We call them the Brady Bunch, and it's like a thing at Hanover. I got the youngest one just came in as a freshman this year and played quarterback for my JV team. Did a great job, just as a freshman, and we were able to win a bunch of games, and then I have my dog also. So I think just having that and is the signs, maybe, I don't know, but like also,
Are you rocking a Brady jersey right now?
no,
Or is that a
this
Commissioner
this
jersey?
this
Yeah,
the
Commissioner jersey. Yeah.
So I just think life with Brady and just kind of going through my seeing how I've had that name as a part of my life for basically the majority of it. So it's just kind of wild. I did think about that because I was like, yeah, he might, switch back on me. So, but
Okay.
yeah, life with Brady.
Life with Brady. Starring Bradley Cooper.
Starring
Bradley Cooper as Jason Gay.
Yeah.
All right, I wrote down 2 more. So walk us through your Sunday. What's your setup? What are you drinking? What are you cooking? What are you eating? What are you doing New Year's Eve?
Okay, so I will be on Sunday. Any given Sunday, I'm at a coach's meeting. First of all, that is brutal.
Still?
No.
Yeah.
We're done now. But like, if you ask me what I'm doing on a typical Sunday during this football season, I am not even hardly able to watch. I can maybe watch the 4 p.m. games. We're there all freaking day. So I'm excited. The last like 4 or 5 weeks, I've been able to sit down and kind of watch some. As long as making Allie happy, I want to not let her just sit around and watch football all day either. But this Sunday I have golf and meat and drink. Ready to roll. I'm gonna head up to Raleigh and hang out at Zach's and kind of go back to my roots. Last year, I gotta either get the stank off or realize that that's not where I need to be on Championship Sunday. So we're gonna ride up there. We're gonna play a little golf. We're gonna smoke a little meat, and then watch the games and then count down. God Almighty, I'm not looking forward to Sunday night because I'm gonna have a buzz, and that's gonna be a big one. I've already said I think I need about a 40-point lead. That was really honestly before you picked up Carlson. So I think 40. If I'm up 40, it's gonna get weird. But I got to get there first. So there's a lot that goes into it. But yeah, Sunday should be a vibe, man. I'm pumped. But last year I was there and I thought it was gonna be a vibe, and it was the opposite. I felt bad for Zach because Zach was like, I was like, dude, if you want to celebrate your dude scoring, go right ahead. And he just kept saying his thing was like, oh my, he just kept muttering like, oh my God, Mike Evans. I think
That's so much worse.
I know, it's so much worse. I'd much rather him celebrate his guys than to just be like, oh my God, Mike Evans. And I just have to like keep refreshing my phone, looking at what he was doing on my bench, man. That was brutal. But yeah, man, Sunday should be fun. And yeah, the vibes will be up. Hopefully it's a good one. That's all I can really ask for. If I lose a heartbreaker, I can handle it. But getting blown out like I did last year, I don't know if I can handle that again. That was rough.
Can
How
we
many
get
points would it take for you to be comfortable losing, like in a shootout? What's the number of points where if it's like 118 to 120, that's going to hurt?
That is going to hurt because I probably, with the way my team's been playing, I probably would.
What are you shooting for?
Mistakes. Yeah, I would have made some mistakes. I think if I can get to 135, I think obviously ESPN's projections are wild a lot of times. There's no way I should be projected to score whatever 145, 150, something like that. I think 135. If I can get to that number, I'll feel good about my chances. Now, do I win? I don't know about that, but I think 135 is definitely a number I've got to get to have a chance. So if I get to 135, I'm looking at you maybe going into Sunday night with around 100. You know, and then I'm just freaking holding on for dear life every time the Vikings snap the ball.
Yeah, that's the no regrets number. Like, all right, I had a decent game.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I scored 115, and you're sitting there with Jay Jettas and the kicker, and you got 100. I'm like, oh my god, I don't even want to watch it.
Yeah.
I don't even want to watch it.
Yeah.
So,
All right, last question. What are you gonna do with the $600 when you win?
oh, good one. So I've got this office in my house that I've tried to turn into an office. I think I'm gonna get like a nice TV, put it up on in front of my over my desk, and have my little like film area. Because your boy will be calling some plays next year. I gotta have my film set up and all that. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to kind of do my homework here in the next couple months, make sure I got my T's crossed and I's dotted. Yeah, but yeah, either that or a real nice trip somewhere. Something go celebrate and or save up and take the trophy somewhere and let the trophy experience the trip as well. But we got to get there first, man. You're a hell of a team to have to play right now. I think you're about as hot as you've been, and you know, you obviously you want it to be like, oh god, this guy limped in. He scored 150, but all of his guys got hurt on the last play of the game or something, and he's just scrambling. But and then also if you win it, you also want it to be like, hey, you beat the best, and I think that's where both of us are at. And I also think that, like you said, man, this is the best matchup every year. If we can get two guys that haven't won it, two hungry dogs for all the dogs, getting in there and trying to get their name on the trophy. It's pretty special. There are 2 spots remaining on the front of the trophy. I was told this by Allie. She said there's 2 spots left on the front, and she's like, I mean, if you win it and you get on the back of the trophy, is that the same? And I was like, to me, yes, but maybe not to everybody. So there's 2 spots left on the front of the trophy this year and next year.
I think it's also been 3 years straight where there's been the championship matchup has been no previous champion winner. It was me and Demo, then you and Zach, now you and Phil.
Yeah.
Who was 4 years ago or before that?
J House and
J House had already won. That's right.
But Ted won.
Ted won back to back in 18-19.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was the last back to back, like back to back champion and back to back getting to the ship too. So,
wow.
Yeah, man, it's exciting. I think every year, Phil, you can attest to this. Putting yourself in a position to make the playoffs is one thing, and then putting yourself to have good matchups late. I think that's a whole nother thing. That's something that I've paid a little more attention to. And trying to set myself up for these things. Like who trades defenses, but I definitely looked at the Browns defense and was like, okay, that's a good matchup. Last couple of weeks of the season, if I can get there, I got a team I don't have to worry about spending fab on. But no, it's exciting. And yeah, so I think the money would go toward something in my other football life. And
what kind of offense do you want to run, or what NFL offense would you compare you as an offensive coordinator to? We talking like the Rams? We talking Patriots?
So I really like what Shanahan's doing. Not just because I have Christian McCaffrey, but just some of the motion stuff they do. It's starting to leak into the college game, and before you know it, the high school game. As long as the coaches in high school can teach it, I think that's when it starts.
Yeah.
Because the coaches in high school, I mean, let's be honest, we're not great, but if we can start to kind of understand how to teach it and implement it, then I think you'll start seeing that in high school. So
it's gotta be fun to cook that shit up.
It is fun. If I can be one of the first to kind of do it and understand how to teach it, then I think I think you're setting yourself up for some success. And yeah, I like what Shanahan's doing. I think I would probably lean Eagles because we've got a quarterback that can run a little bit. So I would say like having him kind of like design quarterback runs. I hope nobody in the conference is watching this tonight, but
Not Lamar, huh?
yeah,
Going
some
Eagles.
design, design quarterback runs and just some RPO stuff, like reading certain guys, creating space, things like that. I'm excited. I've watched so much YouTube in the last since I found out I got the job. I've been like just like constantly. I just watch YouTube all the time. That's
Yeah.
what I do, trying to figure that stuff out. So, but it is exciting. It's like playing Madden in real life. I mean, it's that sounds weird to say, but it is kind of like you get to develop with guys in the off season, try to get them stronger. I'm in the weight room with them, so being able to push them there and like understanding like I need you to be able to do this in August. So how do we get you there? That kind of thing. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. Real life NPCs you get to play with.
That's
yeah.
right. Yes.
Cool. I had maybe one or two more questions, but I feel like Trip or Smitty or Ted probably we're gonna ask him anyway. So I'll open up the floor to y'all.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I've got one final question that I've got to get out of here and wish both you guys the best. But should it come down to that Sunday night game, can we get live feeds of both of you guys going into the fourth quarter if it's close enough to where something crazy could happen?
I'll be available. Yeah.
Just like a reaction video. Like what could you imagine?
Dude, like I think GroupMe has FaceTime, so maybe we could do something over there on that.
It should work.
I can
We're
start
going
a-
out to
I can
dinner.
start a Zoom.
Jason's up by like 4.5 points, 2-minute drive, Green Bay on their own 25-yard line,
Ugh.
and you're just stressing. Get out there. Decimal points now matter.
Pounding drinks. Yeah, exactly.
I think I could do that. I think we're going out to dinner at 6:15 and the game starts at 6:20 Mountain Time.
Oh,
But we're going to Elway's, which is John Elway's restaurant. So I know there's going to be a shit ton of TVs and stuff in there.
Yeah.
So I should be home by halftime. We were like mid third quarter, maybe.
Yeah.
Or do you leave if things are going well? Like, hey, if I move, it could go south.
Might stay. Got a gift card, so.
All right, fellas. Well, good luck to both of you guys. I'm sure I'll be talking to you guys this weekend as the games are moving forward.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you hopping on
right.
the trip. Thank you.
Yeah. See y'all.
Yeah, man.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right, later.
All right, Jason. Questions for me. Few questions. One, can you respond to Christian McCaffrey potentially tearing his ACL at Washington this weekend?
On FedEx Field.
People are saying that.
God, I know. Reports are out. I think they've already put him on as questionable. Questionable to return. Yeah. No, I think he's a soldier, man. He's a super gremlin. So I feel like he's gonna find a way to. He might wear some like 1-inch thick spikes, like some real dig in there, cut on a dime stuff. So I'm excited for that game. Yeah, he's projected quite a few. So if they stay, as long as he's a part of the reason they're up big, that's good. But I am scared about that one getting out of hand with the weapons that they have. Debo, Ayuk, Purdy trying to bounce back from a terrible game. Does Shanahan try to let him get his confidence back before the playoffs and let him sling it around? That does bother me. And just thinking about some of those things. But again, I think I overthink a lot of stuff. But no, yeah. If I'm praying for full health from both of us, man. I know that that would definitely sway the meter in one direction. But I think if you would not, you'd still be pumped about winning it, but you would want to beat the.
No, for the record, yeah, I don't want any injuries.
Yeah,
at all.
Beating a full team would be where it's at, and thinking about some of the things we've had happen in the past where a guy gets hurt and it's just like it kind of puts a damper on that day and then kind of on that championship So nah, I think the field will be fine as long as get the weather out of here. I think it came through today, and so hopefully it'll be out of there and dry that field up nice. Had to put a call into AJ and let him get up there and do his magic on the turf, get it right.
All right, 2 more questions. So we all know what it means to you, right? Heard it last year, saw the heartbreak. What does Allie know what it means?
She's starting to get it, yeah. So like I said, during football season, I wasn't able to watch a ton of Sunday football just because of the coaches meeting. They were brutal and just long. So I get home and like watch like 4 o'clock. I'm watching the second games, maybe the late game. I'm not too tired, but I think she's noticed that the last like 4 or 5 weeks. I was like, I looked at her and I said, I got a chance. Like I feel good about it. And Kyron came back, and my excitement got bigger. And I think she's starting to realize, yeah, how big of a deal it is. She gives me shit all the time though. She's like 18 years, like you've never won it. Like what in the world? I was like, have you ever done anything for 18 years straight and not like accomplished it? Like that's brutal. That's mentally taxing on someone.
Hey man, it took Dale Earnhardt 20 years to win the Daytona 500. So
I should name a team. Yeah, I should. That should.
And that's one of the greatest calls in sports history. Last
It's
question.
like a part of my take question. Would you rather win a title and suck for 20 years or just be knocking at the door 20 years in a row, never win?
It's a great question.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Or I'd rather be knocking on the door every year.
Yeah, it would be nice to kind of every year be in the mix for sure. But I think there's something about winning one that would really, honestly, it would make it easier to kind of go and navigate. I feel like if I got one, the next year I'd be like a little bit looser. I wouldn't stress as much about some of the start sit stuff. Like, all right, I already got one kind of thing. Now I'm like, when do I get back? You know, like,
one's kind of a fluke.
But that's fine too. I think
I'd rather be there more than just get one, right? Like,
I think
at least you know you're consistently good.
Yeah.
Like, is Joe Flacco elite?
Yeah.
Yes.
He is now.
Is Trent
Brown's
Dilfer?
about to do it.
I know, that's crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, I think knocking on the door for sure, but yeah, getting that one for me personally, I think would be a big
Yeah,
deal.
you gotta yeah.
So
I forgot what my last question was.
it's all good, man. I
I
appreciate
think it was going to be, is Joe Flacco elite?
That was a good one. Have you figured out what we eating Sunday? I kind of need to know.
I don't know yet. Are we opposed to prime rib?
No.
Yeah, I'd rather do that.
All right. I kind of think that matters. All
Wow.
game.
What it is, what it do.
Walking around the crib, strutting his stuff. 4-time champ.
Phil. My boys never gave me a chance, man. Congrats, though, dude.
Dude, that was a good game.
Happy for you.
Could see it in your eyes.
So happy.
So much happy. Yeah.
We were talking about that game earlier. About the Eagles game.
No.
Oh,
Drake May Williams.
Is that Drake May?
That is Drake May. He played a lot more than the other Drake did today.
That's true too.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't catch it. We had a late dinner and then, man, our house is upside down. We all the kids' Christmas stuff out with the old, in with the new. We've done every room in the house, the garage. It's been a while. 24 to 48. Anyway,
oh shit.
glad I got to catch some of it, but yeah, dude, I don't even want to show you mine, Smitty. Mine's worse than that. Riley, I'll just chill for a second. I'll take turns. I just got the Switch like Doc, so they're seeing it on the big screen. They've just been playing the Switch in their hands. Their world is shocked right now. They're geeking out. But yeah, I caught some of it. I've been in both of your shoes many times, as you as you all know.
Okay, really? All right.
There's nothing quite like it. I mean, both of y'all confidence should be through the roof the way you teams are playing, especially Kamish. As you said, what'd you do, buddy? Way to go, my man.
Ted
All right,
Jr.
I'm on the phone. Yeah, both of y'all's teams are clicking and rolling. Like, I mean, Kamish probably scares me a little bit more because just top to bottom, he's just ridiculous. Phil, man, you're Jefferson. I mean, the Rams, they give you such a floor. It's gonna be an interesting matchup. I'm excited for a first time champ. Pressures on somebody to win and to one up Zach and Justin and all these. I think Phil's got the upper hand there, Kamish. If we're looking for some media, some over the top video, I think he's probably got the upper hand there. But
Phil's speech / show at draft weekend would be immaculate. I do agree. It would be tough. That would be a really good one.
So y'all might have already touched on this. Is something I'm curious about if I missed it. Who has, like, for me, if it were me, I may have one lineup decision. I have to take Waddle out and plug and play Deontay or Cooks. Like, I wouldn't have very many lineup decisions. Either one of y'all. Are y'all struggling with the start sit one up, somebody over the other? Commissioner, I know you're running backs. Rashad White, you said, hope he forgives you. I think you're going to plug him in next week. But, James Cook coming off a game with no catches. Any y'all have any lineup decisions that are kind of keeping you up at night?
Phil, I'll let you go.
I wouldn't say this is going to keep me up. So what's interesting is I traded for 3 eyes this year. I traded for Dalton Schultz, Jonathan Taylor, and DeAndre Hopkins. And I feel best at my core of just playing the guys that I didn't acquire, except for JT. I bought him for a reason. The other guys, if Dalton Schultz goes off, I'm fine with that. I'll play Goddard. Same with DeAndre Hopkins. Like, I'm fine with my wide receivers. So not really for me. Like, I'll live with it.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier, like, just the wide receivers, I've struggled all year trying to get production out of them. DK's kind of caught a little fire late. So I think he'll probably be in there for sure. Even though he's got a tough matchup. T going to Kansas City, not knowing what the weather's going to be like. And Chase may be coming back. So I don't know where I sit with him. I mentioned earlier, Nico's a guy that I was big on going into the season and drafted him. And I think if Stroud plays, I think I'd be kicking myself if I didn't play Nico. Even though T was my keeper, I think he's got me where I needed to be right now, the last 2 weeks, doing what he's done. So I think that's the biggest one. And then, Cook. I think Kyron's a lock. I think CMC's a lock. And then do you go Rashad? Can he keep it going against the Saints? And then you got James Cook against my Pats. It's like, I don't know. That's the toughest one. But I feel like I got to get it right. Like last week, I feel like I had to get it right. Luckily, I got lucky because Derek's team absolutely did nothing. But
what about the elephant in the room of the one player in this matchup that isn't projected well?
The tight end situation? Yeah, that's another thing. Like, do you start Cook and Kincaid again combined for 6.7 last week? Kicker got me like 4. It's just like, I don't know if the Bills did they peak a couple weeks ago against Dallas? Are they tired? New England, obviously, I think Bill still, he can scheme up defensively. He can do things to kind of make you panic. And I think with Josh Allen panics, then he runs. And that's bad for James Cook. But then I look at the last time James Cook played against New England, and he had like 6 catches for 50 yards. It's like, all right, you can just play all these games in your head.
You got to figure it out.
The tight end situation has been bad for me all year. And I think last week I was between Tucker Kraft, and Kincaid, and I ended up going with Kincaid just because I got a man crush on him. I hope he does well next year too. But I got Chig Okonkwo again in a pretty decent matchup. So we'll see. I don't know, man. Everett,
didn't you?
I mean, excuse me, Everett. Yeah, Everett. Sorry. Gerald Everett they featured him. If Keenan Allen's out, they might dump it down to him a few more times. I know Eckler's not been himself, so he caught like 4 or 5 balls last week. That could be a big one.
So my GM situation at your team, commish, I kind of agree with you, Phil. Like lock and loaded, play who's got you all your receivers and stuff. You can't sit any of the Rams guys. You can't sit JJ, obviously. And so I feel like you don't have any decisions.
There's a mental piece with that. There's a mental piece with that, like being able to say, like, all right, this is it. We're doing it, and then having some questions is tough at times.
Yeah, that thought of, with everything on the line, not just the weekly matchup, but with everything on the line, who can you sleep like sitting on your bench and they going off and you being at peace with it, or plugging somebody? So I'm with you. If Keenan Allen doesn't play, Gerald Everett to me is pretty an easy plug and play over Kincaid or Chig or anybody else that you've mentioned. Jerry Sneed for KC, like they showed his numbers against number ones are out of this world this year. They're playing at a Pro Bowl level. Kind of touched on
Devontae had 2 points last week. Like that was crazy.
That's what I'm saying. And that was a little bit different situation. The Raiders got up early. They just, I don't think O'Connell threw a pass in the third or fourth quarter.
Yeah, they had 2 defensive touchdowns, and there's a lot of Chiefs slander and Mahomes slander in our chat during that.
There it was,
which is I think they're still okay.
If Chase plays, you would figure Snead would follow him around a lot, so that would free up T again. If T's the main guy and Snead is on him, like that's a brutal matchup. So that's kind of going through my head. A few things that kind of worrying you a little bit. So.
Oh, it is. It definitely is. Yeah. Lamar, I'm starting. I don't care. He might have one of those games where he hands the ball off 35 times, but I'm okay with that. I think this is a game that they might want to win though, because he's kind of going back home to Miami. The 1 seed's kind of still on the line between them and Miami, getting that bye. So I think he might be playing hard. Running backs, like I said, that the question is going to be Rashad or Cook, and then receiver Nico, TK, that whole carousel. But I do feel like this is 1 week. Like I really last week I felt like that, and obviously it didn't work out that way. But I do feel like I got to get it right this week against Phil. I don't think I can not get it right and win, because I think he's got matchups across the board that are just incredible.
Yeah. His receivers, especially, they always perform. They're just dudes who.
Well, one of them's going to. It's a cup bounce back week. I think one of them definitely eats. So that's the tough part for me, and it does it. Like last week, I was freaking out. Okay, look, Kyron's. I hope he stays in the game, because they were up by like 20-some points. I was like, does Kyron even stay in the game? But they're fighting for playoff position, playoff spot. So I think it's a good setup for Kyron, and he's involved in the passing game. Obviously, him and CMC are 2 of the best at that.
And so they played the Saints. You said that the Bucs got the Saints this week. So you're not fearful of that defense. Kyron just shredded them up. So Rashad can probably get it done. I don't want to tell you who. I get nothing I say is going to influence you. At least I hope not. I envy you having those stud backs, but having to make that decision this week with it all on the line is not fun. I feel you. Stroud is back. Nico, like I've had him in a WAC league, and I've been following him closely in dynasty stuff. He's no Tank Dell. What is it? Is it Noah Brown? Is he the guy that's kind of been up and down?
He's banged up, but Nico's coming off an injury too. So yeah, I got some decisions to make at wide receiver for sure.
Yeah.
And running back, yeah. So,
well, I love you both. I'm happy for y'all. Happy for whoever takes it down. Get your name on a trophy. It's a really cool moment. Phil, you got it done. Took me to the woodshed. I'm happy for you. I ain't gonna pick a dog. Either way, I'm happy. If Tony or Drumo would have been in your seats, I'm pulling for the other side. Just kidding. I don't really care. I don't really care who comes out on top. I'm happy for whoever the next Musty champion is. I'll be pleased with it for sure.
I think it's well deserved on both ends. You know, I'm not patting my back, but I do think Phil making 8 straight playoffs, putting himself in position.
That's crazy, man.
Like, yeah,
I don't
it's
feel like he's knocked
just-
on the door, but when you said that, that's nuts.
yeah,
His
the
consistency
consistency's
is
been
not.
there. So like it's
Yeah,
not
option.
it's been it might be a long time coming, but it's definitely deserved. So I think no matter who wins Sunday, it'll be well deserved and celebrated. Even by the loser of this game, I think, you know, if Phil, if you get me, I'll be happy for you, brother, no doubt.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's going to be an amazing matchup. I think it's going to be shootout.
Down to the
I think
wire.
it's going to come down to the wire. Yeah. Starts
Yeah, I mean,
tomorrow too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you mentioned when the interview you mentioned my average was around 130ish, and that's I was a few shy of it, but I was right there at my average. So I mean you got to go play above your floor to win this, and I think both of y'all teams are doing it. You know, projections kind of give us a glimmer of what it could be like, but all it takes is somebody hit the ceiling game, which you guys have plenty of those guys to do it. So it'll be fun. I got the popcorn ready. Phil, I still owe you a shot. I still get it done.
that's right. Ted, I was sweating for 5 days during our matchup.
It was a
That was
little
brutal.
anticlimactic. Yeah, that Philly. I mentioned it during the interviews. I think Philly. I feel like maybe the Bills have 2. You know, KC has 2. They're just not who we thought they were. I mean, even against the Giants, they couldn't put them away. The defense couldn't help me out. You know, AJ Brown just hadn't gotten the end zone in a while. It's just it was tough to watch. I was yelling when he almost caught a little thing about the 15-yard line. He caught one and turned it and made a guy miss. And I thought, all right, if he gets in, it's still got likely, maybe there's a chance. But then freaking Shepard, they throw a bomb to him, or Slayton rather. And I was like, man, it's just not meant to be. But
I
had some
need
moments in
more
the chamber
likely
that just-
jokes.
yeah.
Like,
It's
oh,
all
it's
good.
looking unlikely, or
There's always next year. There's always next year. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna go hit a game of Mario Kart with the kids. Good luck to you both. Yeah, it'd be cool if we get some live feed, even something like this little Instagram party, house party, something where I can see
Yeah.
your faces, see the look in the twinkle in your eye when you know the trophy's coming home with you at draft day.
yeah. I can just thinking about it, Phil. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's brutal. I'm thinking about Sunday night. He just picked up the kicker too. Like, it's just I'm gonna be a mess, but it's gonna be fun, man. I'd rather
Yeah.
be in it. I'd
Shot
rather
him in
be it than
daylight.
out of it. Yeah, shot him in daylight. Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up as far as the recording goes. Man, I appreciate you guys joining in. Phil, I love you, brother. I appreciate you, one, for just, being a part of everything that we do, and joining in with us, and feeling like a guy who's we grew up with, man. It's crazy how much you fit right in with us, and hopefully we do the same for you. And thinking back as I'm rolling down that hill in St. Thomas, I was just like, man, this guy he belongs, and I love him, having him as part of the league. So I wish nothing but the best for you this weekend. I hope you have a good time and just enjoy it. That's my only hope, is that you enjoy it one way or the other, however it goes, and yeah, have some fun with it. So, but yeah, welcome to the championship, and good luck to you, man.
Yeah, man. Good luck. I love you. Love being a part of this league. More than you know. It's amazing. So either way, it'll be well deserved.
Good. Absolutely. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop the recording, and